What is up guys, Andy Forrest Team Runner here and welcome back to another video, and today I'm giving you guys my first impressions of the Asics Novablast 3. There we go, chucking this shoe in at the deep end. 2 hours, 10 minutes, done and dusted in at the Novablast version 3 for my first run impressions. Plenty more testing to come in this shoe, but I have been waiting and waiting and waiting for version 3 so patiently, with teasers and people getting them early everywhere, and I'm finally excited to share my thoughts with you guys. As I said, more testing to come. I'm going to be putting this thing through its paces, but for now I want to share how I found this shoe after getting it straight out of the box, putting it on my feet and going out there and running for 2 hours and 10 minutes. If you're excited for my thoughts today guys, please do give this video a like, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel for weekly running content, and we'll start with the tech. So we'll start off by saying I went true to size in this shoe, UK size 13, and we have an 8mm heel to toe drop. Asics aren't providing exact stack heights, but from what I can see from other reputable sources, we're looking in and around a 30mm to 22 or a 31 to 23, in and around that zone. And in my UK size 13, it comes in at a much more lightweight package of 314 grams or 11.1 ounces. So let's start at the back of the shoe here and work our way down across the shoe, the tongue, the lacing, the upper, the midsole, and then to the outsole. But we'll start back here with the comfortable area. So they have a heel stabilizer in here, heel cup, but they call it heel stabilizer, which just adds a little bit of support and structure at the back. As you can see, there's not a lot of give there, and that just allows you to, basically it contributes to a good locked in feeling when you slip your foot in, and everything else that's going on here just adds a little bit of stability and structure to the back of the shoe. But we have really nice cushioning, as we have seen in previous Novablast versions, which runs all the way around the side, which sits just under the ankle bone, and all the way around the other side there too. So when you slip your foot in, the comfort levels once again go through the roof. Just everything you expect from a Novablast shoe. So again, this section here is lovely, cuts under the ankle bone really nicely, no issues there whatsoever. The tongue is paper thin, it's got a cutout groove there to kind of splay around the top of your foot, and it is very thin at the top section, but then as we go down about 1 centimetre down into the tongue, around here and down, we get a little bit of cushioning, thin bit of cushioning, just to allow and take a bit of the pressure off when you're cinching the laces down. That cushioning absorbs some of that so that it's not sitting directly on top of your foot. But again, perfect length tongue, just kind of sits up on top of your ankle, not too far and certainly not too low. It is a gusseted tongue, so it's attached to the medial and lateral side of the shoe, the inside and the outside. So it does, again, with the lacing system, which is a standard lacing system, give you such a good cinched in, wonderful lockdown feeling. So we've got the comfort levels through the roof in the back, we've got a gusseted tongue which wraps over the top of the foot, and then lacing, which is just no frills, no faffs. It does the job and it's great. It does have that extra eyelet hole. I laced up out of the box, 2 hours, 10 minutes. The shoe didn't come loose. I didn't use the extra eyelet hole, so I don't feel I need it. It's there if you guys like to use it and do the runners not. I certainly didn't need to. So that's a really good sign. So all in all, that first section is great. Then we move on to the jacquard mesh upper, which runs all the way around the shoe. We've got a few print overlays on the outside and the inside there of the Asics logo. And you can see here a little bit of plasticky overlays around the heel. But overall, this upper runs all the way around. Not too much give in it, but a nice roomy toe box as you'd expect in the Novablast. There's a little bit of stretch, a little bit of something there, but it doesn't overstretch, which is great. Again, adds to that locked-in feeling. But just like most Novablasts, you've got a good amount of room in the toe box, good amount of volume, nothing's changed yet. It feels great. In terms of sizing, just very quickly, I suppose, in terms of sizing, I do find that in the Novablast version 1 and the 2, there was a good amount of room at the end. I wonder if they've just taken a slither off that, because I didn't feel quite as much length on it. Normally I have at least a good full thumb width at the end. I still feel like true to size is perfect. Like a lot of people size down. I'm not sure I'd size down in this one yet. I was wearing thicker socks, to be fair, not thin ones, but my foot did feel like it filled the toe box area. So just bear that in mind. I think if you wear thicker socks, you're not going to find it as long as the previous versions. That's just from one run. That might change as I wear thinner socks, but we'll see how we go. But in terms of the upper, yeah, nice and breathable, nice and lightweight, and very, very comfy. Flight Foam Blast Plus midsole. So this is the first time I've got to try the Flight Foam Blast Plus midsole. Bit of a mouthful there. Much more lightweight than the original Flight Foam in the previous versions. Still as bouncy, but just that this is where it sheds the weight, and it is a wonderful, like this colorway is lovely. It's kind of like sunburst. It's phenomenal. But the midsole is just one piece, runs from front to back. No plates in this shoe, nothing. It is just all bounce, all cushion, all goodness. As I said, I'm in love with this shoe. It's absolutely incredible. And then we move on to the AHA rubber outsole. This is a very similar pattern to what we've seen in the previous Novablast. Very thin layer there. So obviously I've just tested it in the dry. I haven't tested it in the wet, but it provides good grip. We all know what this AHA rubber outsole does. It is Asics high abrasion rubber, and it lasts a lifetime. I've taken the previous Novablast versions to 400 and 500 miles, and this stuff was barely wearing down. So I expect that this will do no different at all. This will go on forever and ever and ever. So that is it for the tech. So on to my first impressions. How did I find this shoe after its first run? Well, I put a lot of trust in the Novablast, hence why I took it out straight away on the long run, and it repaid me in abundance. And what I've got to do with this review is try not to just kind of rave about how amazing it is and try and be really, really constructive. So let me give you some constructive points, and then I can rave at the end about how incredible it is. Very first thing I want to mention quickly. Disclaimer, I purchased this shoe with my own money directly from the Asics website. Nobody sent this to me. Nobody gets to preview my thoughts before it goes on YouTube. But just to let you guys know, I did purchase this one with my own hard-earned pennies. So in terms of constructive feedback, I have to I love this shoe so much. Let me be really constructive. First thing I noticed with this shoe, obviously lightweight, weight saving. My previous version was, I think, 344, 45, 46 grams-ish. So this is 314. So we've saved, what is that, 24, 34, 4. We've saved around 30 grams worth of weight in this shoe, which is incredible. And it, again, right, if you saw my Pegasus Trail 4 GTX review, I talked about how when a shoe loses that much weight, it suddenly elevates its status from being a one-trick pony to something that can become way more than just kind of one thing. And that's exactly what it has done to this shoe. Let me explain. So I suddenly feel like with version 2, okay, let's roll back the clock. Version 1 was incredible. It captured us with the bounce, and it captured us with the kind of that stepping off a curb motion, rolling and bouncing forward. It was incredible. The excitement was amazing. Version 2 comes along. It does lose a little bit of that kind of like stepping off a curb feeling. It did go from a 10mm drop to an 8, and they did put a bit more stack height in the forefoot. So it suddenly went from a little bit less excitement, but what it lost in excitement, it made up for in comfort, and was my favorite daily trainer out there. Just super soft, super squishy. I loved it. The first thing I noticed when I got back into this shoe was it suddenly felt a little bit more like I was stepping off a curb again, like in version 1. So I got version 1 vibes from that just kind of roll through and pop off. Plus, the bounce in this shoe is incredible, but the weight saving is even better. Suddenly what this shoe has become for me is not just an easy daily trainer. I know I did a lot of workouts. I know I used my version 1 for a multitude of things. Version 2 I very much kept as an easy trainer. This has suddenly elevated its status from an easy trainer to a moderate trainer. So I suddenly know I can do easy miles and moderate miles in this shoe, and this will be my go-to for easy and moderate miles, and then potentially even faster. You know, I wouldn't be averse to doing some kind of tempo runs and marathon pace stuff in this shoe. I mean, the weight that has been shed off this is phenomenal, and suddenly becomes not a jack of all trades, but it suddenly becomes something that can do a lot more than just one thing, which is just the best news you can hear when it comes to an upgrade. So the weight saving is great, the comfort levels are great. And I think the one thing I just noticed with the shoe is if you just love the Novablast previous versions, you'll love this one. Slipping my foot in was just kind of memories coming straight back to me, and running 2 hours 10 minutes in it, getting my feet out, feeling great, legs feeling fantastic. What more can you ask? I mean, 2 hours 10 minutes is such a long first test to do in a shoe, and it passed with flying colours. So I think all for me to say on this shoe, and I could go on and on and on, but I have to be really, really careful, is phenomenal weight saving. The bounce is still there. That stepping off a curb, rolling through motion, making you move and making it just feel smooth is there. And the lockdown on it just feels fantastic. Asics have just hit a home run with this shoe, and I'm so grateful that they're not messing it up on future versions. It'd just be interesting the direction this shoe goes, because I've heard rumours that this shoe might be being discontinued. They might be kind of merging it into the Nimbus and kind of having like a hybrid. I don't know. I'd love that to not be true and then continue forward with it. But either way, I've just got to say, in terms of these first 3 versions, I think they've done a great job in not messing things up, and this 3rd version quite possibly could be the best of the bunch so far. So those are my first initial thoughts on this shoe, but I will do another video, I will do more testing, and I will put this shoe through its paces because it deserves it. First of all, great easy trainer, moderate trainer, but I think it can do more, and we're certainly going to be finding that out over the next couple of weeks. So that's it. Those are my thoughts on the Novablast version 3. Let me know in the comments below if you managed to grab a pair of these exciting shoes from Asics, because I noticed they've not come out on any other retailers' websites just yet, just on Asics for now. Did you grab a pair? What do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Wow, what a shoe. More testing coming. Absolutely delighted this is in the rotation. Breathe a sigh of relief. The Novablast is back, baby, and it's back with a bang. If you enjoyed today's video, guys, please do give it a like, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel for weekly running content, and as always, I'll see you on the next one. Until then.